हेलो, वेलकम बैक टू नया स्पोर्ट्स। संदीप सर, मैं ज़्यादा टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करूंगा इंट्रो पे। मैं फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन आपसे मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूँ कि जो भी हुआ आज, आई नो कि आप वहाँ पे थे, आपने वो लाइव देखा, आपने नीरज से बातचीत भी की। इंजरी भी उन्होंने बताया, बैक इंजरी है। थोड़ा मुझे बताएंगे कितना हम सबको कितना कुछ मतलब नीरज ने बोला आफ्टर द जावेलिन फाइनल।
Come again, Subhashish. There's so many people around here. I really can't hear you too much.
ओके, कैन आई रिपीट द क्वेश्चन सर? मैं रिपीट करूँ?
Yeah, yeah.
सर, आज जो भी हुआ फाइनल में हमने सबने देखा, आप वहां पे थे, आपने लाइव देखा, आपने नीरज से बात भी की आफ्टर द जावलिन फाइनल। उन्होंने कहा हमको बैक इंजरी भी है। थोड़ा बताइए क्या क्या बातचीत हुई नीरज से आपकी, और क्या क्या नीरज ने बताया आपको।
No, the wins and the defeats. I mean, they're all part of it. And yeah, everybody expected that Neeraj is going to win and carry forward the normal podium finishes that we have been kind of getting used to for all these years. And I still remember 2017, the London World Championship, where he couldn't qualify for the final, and that was the start of, or probably even before that, when I started, kind of the whole journalist sports person relationship. And I still remember that qualifying where, since he couldn't go to the final, and he still, at that moment of time, he still gave 6 7 minutes. He was hugely disappointed because he was just coming off after the U20 victory, and he was slowly becoming a big name. But if you just leave the defeat, if you can call it a defeat, in a sense that at some point of time the ups and downs really come in and they catch up. But what is remarkable about all of this is that he still came out, and at that time I was speaking to Julio Ciego, and I was kind of basically uh, wanting to go over and ask Neeraj what really went happened. And he kind of said, like, continue with the Julius one. First finish that. I'm waiting here. And then he spoke for 12 to 15 minutes. You rarely find sports persons who, after such a big defeat, and when expectations are so high, are still willing to come out, are still willing to talk, and still willing to open up and explain a lot of what happened there. I think he just immediately came down and he said that, yes, I have been nursing an injury. I didn't want to say it before the final. I didn't want anybody to kind of say that, okay, the injury and all. He said, I had informed the federation, I had informed whatever is necessary, that this is a risk, but I'm going to go with it because this is a big world championship. There's an immense amount of expectations around me, the javelin, the throws, and everything. So that's where he kind of started off. But immediately after that, his first reaction was that, I think we all need to congratulate Sachin for the fantastic effort that went in. And the fourth place, he said, I was really, at the end of it, I was really expecting that he'll come up with something where he can probably get onto the podium, get a medal. For him to go away, like yesterday after the qualifying, he spoke about Sarvesh. Today, after probably his worst day in the last 4 5 6 years, he's speaking about Sachin. There were athletes who were going from the back, and I'm forgetting the name of the athlete. I think she's an Australian athlete. She kind of put a hand on his shoulder and in a way congratulated him. And then he looks at the camera and he says, she probably doesn't know what's happened in the javelin, and she's probably expecting that, as usual, I'll be on the podium. Those are the things that you kind of first of all try and understand about him. Coming back to the competition, I think I've never seen a form book ripped apart completely. I mean, nobody expected. Yes, Peter Anderson, one always knew that he was a threat. But the rest, I don't think anybody really expected. I don't think even Keshan Walcott probably, if you would have asked him, can you put a bet on yourself, he would have probably said, yeah, I may try probably. But coming up with a gold medal was remarkable.
एंड सर, बहुत आई नो लोग बोल रहे हैं ये चीज कि एनसी क्लासिक को इस साल करवाना बहुत ज्यादा मिस्टेक अकॉर्डिंग टू यू।
No, it's a point that you can make. It's a point that one can have a conversation, but 5%, 6%, 10%. I don't think anything beyond that, honestly. And it'll be stupid to kind of get into the NC Classic bit, though we've spoken about it. But at this point of time, I think one really needs to understand what he went through. Looking at the injury, he said that he's spoken about the injury in detail, but he said that मैंने सुना है कि जब हार होती है काफी सालों के बाद, उसके बाद जब आप उठते हो और फिर वापस आते हो तो आप काफी अच्छे तरीके से और बड़े तरीके से वापस आते हो. So he's taking it in a good way. You see athletes here who after getting beaten just walk away. I mean, like but I think it's good of the man to open up to speak because in India he's your only world champion. He's your only Olympic track and field guy. There's nobody bigger than him. So yeah, I mean, like looking back, I think also the conditions were not right in a way that everybody spoke about it. But at the end of the day, you still got to battle the conditions. You still got to win against it. And he also said कि ऐसा हुआ नहीं है कि पहले बारिश नहीं हुई थी, थोड़ी बहुत हवा नहीं चली थी. He spoke about all of that. He said मैं फिर भी अपनी अच्छी थ्रोज निकाल ले रहा था. He says कि जब मैं पांचवी थ्रो पे जा रहा था मुझे लगा कि probably I'll still take it out. So yeah, he couldn't. He's admitting to the fact that he couldn't put it up today. And the other thing is that Claus, his earlier coach, is the coach of Walcott. And even on that, I asked him, and he said that ये अच्छी बात है कि उसने वर्ल्ड चैंपियन मुझे बनाया, मुझे ओलंपिक चैंपियन बनाया उसने, और आज किशोन को भी उसी उसी जगह पे लेके गया है. So he says I congratulate Claus and I also congratulate the gold medal winner because they all deserve it.
एंड सर बिफोर द फाइनल्स हम सब एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे थे कि नीरज पोडियम फिनिश तो करेंगे ही, लेकिन जब फाइनल हो रहा था, जब नीरज थ्रो कर रहे थे 82 फाउल भी हुआ, 84 भी हुआ, फिर सचिन थ्रो कर रहे थे 86 85 दो बार उन्होंने किया, पोस्टर बेस भी किया, लेकिन जो सचिन नीरज को देख रहे थे उनका तो नहीं लग रहा था, तो वो साइकोलॉजिकल इफेक्ट नहीं पड़ा सचिन के ऊपर. वो चीज अगर आप बता पाए कि एक आपका जो जैवलिन थ्रोअर है जिससे सबको जीत रखा है उस प्लेटफॉर्म पे, उससे थ्रो नहीं निकल रहा है, तो सचिन ने इस चीज को अपने अंदर नहीं आने दिया, उसने स्टिल वो अच्छा करता रहा.
Yeah, I think Sachin is pretty decent and pretty good at isolating a lot of stuff. You can see it while he was on the track, while he was throwing, he was going into corners, he was sitting elsewhere. There was probably just a few seconds or probably 10, 15, 20 seconds of interaction between Neeraj and Sachin. Beyond that, I don't think I saw anything while I was watching it. So, in a way, Sachin is on his own. He's an individual. And listen, at the end of the day, whether it's a field event or whether it's a track event, there could be three Botswana runners running the 400. There could be two or three Americans running the 100 or the 200 or whatever. But each of them runs their own race. Each of them is in their own lane. So just imagine a javelin throw where there are lanes. Obviously, they will all be running in their own. At the end of the day, they all isolate themselves and they all try and figure out what is the best way for them. And once he got a good throw, I think Sachin's confidence would have surely gone up. It's another matter that we didn't get to speak to him. I don't know why, but he didn't turn up. So, but that's it. That's okay. I mean, like every individual, every athlete has his own way of dealing with things. And if Sachin Yadav doesn't want to turn up and meet and talk about a good accomplishment today, a fourth place, it's his choice.
Last couple of questions. So you were there at the London World Championship in 2017. You were there 2023 बुडापेस्ट जब तीन, अगर मैं नीरज को हटा दूं तो बाकी दो दीपी मानू एंड किशोर जनाब फिनिशिंग मतलब 6th and 5th. इस बार भी सचिन यादव आप वहीं पे हैं टोक्यो वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप में. अगर सचिन को प्लेस करना होगा आप किस जगह पे, क्योंकि आपने तीनों वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप को देखा है, तीनों फाइनलिस्ट को आपने देखा है, चारों एटलीस्ट, तो आप अगर सचिन को प्लेस करना चाहते हैं इन तीन फाइनल्स में कहाँ पे प्लेस करेंगे?
It's too early. This is his first world championship. It's a fantastic finish for him. I think he would probably need to grow from here. And I think I don't know. I mean, who's the main coach in a sense, whether what is he going to do after this? Is this something that he needs to decide? I don't know what whether the federation has a say in that, but I did see Mr. Lalit Bhanot passing on instructions from the box that he was in to a few athletes. I don't know who was the other person, but they were all giving some good instructions to Sachin, and it's a good day for Indian javelin. I mean, I won't even say that some baton has been handed over. No, I wouldn't even go that far to say that because that be listen. I mean, this is the reason why we all probably feel this is because we've never seen Neeraj lose, which is in itself such a massive thing. And today, if he has lost, I think one should also agree to the fact what he says is कि जब when I asked him, 2017 के बाद, this is probably your first loss in a way. I can't remember offhand if he hasn't gone to a podium. I don't think so. Maybe once or twice probably, but major championships he's always finished well. So he said मुझे भी ये नहीं मालूम था मेरे को याद ही नहीं था कि मैं इतने सालों से जीत रहा हूँ. So he says चलो अच्छी बात है कि यहाँ से फिर एक नई शुरुआत कर सकता हूँ. आई मीन एक जगह पे आप आके थोड़ा बहुत आप देख सकते हो कि भाई क्या होने वाला है क्या नहीं हो सकता. बट देर इज अ पॉइंट. जब कल क्वालिफाइंग के बाद बात हो रही थी आई डिड गेट अ सेंस व्हेन ही सेड ना प्रो बड़ा होना चाहिए टेक्निकल की बातें बाद में कर लेंगे. I don't know, but I did get a sense that he didn't seem to be in a good space. When I say a good space, I mean the coach athlete relationship. It'll be easy for me to kind of dwell a little more on it because he's lost. What if we had gone to the podium? Would we have been talking over the coach athlete relationship? I don't think so. But this is sport, and you do speak about coaching relationships. You do speak about having a man in your corner who's the world record holder. You can't speak about Zelensky other than be massively respectful of the man that you have in your corner. It's almost like though it's a bad example, a lot of people might feel awkward about it, but it's almost like the Bundini Muhammad Ali era, where he was in the corner and Ali used to be fighting. The man in your corner is very important. And when I had asked about clause to Neeraj, there was a slight tightness. You could see that there was some form of, I don't know how to put it, but uh, the expression was respectful, but at the same time, there was this feeling probably that, you know, uh, would things have been different? I don't know. There's always a reason why athletes change coaches. There's always a reason why teams change coaches. And maybe he has his priorities right. Maybe this will probably spur him on to bigger things. I think he'll probably get into a corner. He'll try and figure it out. And it's amazing that we are talking about it in this way, but he's your only track and field guy, who's come this far and has won so consistently that you feel that okay, come back soon. That's all that we can probably say. And I still remember somebody went to the back. Yeah, the German thrower. What's his name?
Julian Weber.
Yeah, Weber. He was going back, and he kind of patted him on the shoulder, and he said, "Come back soon." So there's this nice little thing about all of them. I think most of them would be feeling it, except probably Anderson. All the big guys kind of. And Jakub yesterday, I think he said that that today's competition is going to be not going to be going 90 plus or all of that. So at least one prediction is right. I think the rest of the predictions are all wrong. Who's going to come in the top four and all of that. So, but this is sport. If predictions can go wrong, so can Neeraj Chopra can also come down from the podium.
वन लास्ट क्वेश्चन सर, आज वेदर या मतलब ह्यूमिडिटी ने कितना बड़ा रोल प्ले किया, खासकर अगर मैं बात करूं यूरोपियन थ्रोअर्स, यूलियन वेबर हम पहले तब बोल रहे थे कि
No. There was no, Subhashish. There was no humidity. There was the wind swirling around the middle of the stadium. I don't know if that was a factor. Most of them said no, they can't be a factor. He said even if those things are a factor, you need to be overcoming that, because at this level you can't be saying this is a factor and that is a factor. The factors can only come in if nobody wins. But if your guys got three guys on the podium, then obviously there is a reason why they are on the podium, and there is a reason why the rest are not on the podium. So Neeraj was the first one to say कि नहीं इसमें कोई excuses नहीं दे सकता कोई. आज नहीं था, दिन नहीं था, जिनका था उनको कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन, उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा किया, मेरे से आज हो नहीं पाया, और मुझे जाके अब ये ढूंढना पड़ेगा कि मैंने क्या गलतियां की, क्या नहीं की, मुझे क्या करना चाहिए था और मुझे आगे क्या करना है. आई थिंक ऑल ऑफ दोज can only come from somebody who actually knows how to introspect well. Great athletes do that, and we do expect Neeraj to do that.
एंड सर कमेंटेटर्स भी बोल रहे थे कि शायद नीरज का वो रन अप, वो फिनिशिंग, वो चेंज हुआ है. आप एग्री करते हैं इस चीज से? आपने सामने से देखा नीरज को?
नहीं, changes, yeah. Listen, if a new coach comes in, changes do happen. I mean, a coach will not be following what Klaus did, you know. So changes will come. I don't know whether how long or what. Neeraj and Zelezny will have a discussion tonight, but I'm sure the discussion will be on what really went wrong and whether the inputs are right. I did ask him. I did ask him that did you communicate with Zelezny while during the competition today? And he wasn't too forthcoming on that. He said, नहीं थोड़ी बहुत बात हुई थी, लेकिन सब कुछ पहले decide हो ही जाता है कि क्या करना है. And also, at this level, after the coaching stuff is happened, whatever they have discussed at the hotel or the room or wherever, even on the warm-up ground, I think at the end of the day, it's the athlete. It's athlete's intelligence to understand how to be flexible during different conditions, and it's not always that you keep going back to the coach who's sitting there and he can only yell one instruction or two instructions, but not all. But here, Keshon's Walcott definitely said that my entire credit for what I am today, this gold medal, goes to Klaus.
And thank you so much, sir, for joining us. And stay tuned with the Rana Sports for all the latest updates from World Championship and track and field.
Thank you so much, Rishi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.